You usually associate a lost and found with dusty cardboard boxes full of single mittens and, forgotten keys.
Right, just mundane, misplaced items.
Exactly. Things people drop and eventually just stop looking for.
Yeah.
But imagine a lost and found for people. Like a place where a total stranger hands you back a piece of your dignity that you didn't even know was missing.
Which is such a beautiful concept.
It really is. And that's the exact premise driving Alan Levi's novel, Theo of Golden. So for today's deep dive, we have a stack of character analyses and study guides, and our mission is simple.
Yeah, we are completely bypassing the heavy literary critiques today.
Right, we're just going to summarize what makes this plot so heartwarming and really dig into the characters and themes that make this book stick with so many of you.
So to start, we really have to look at the opening. We've got Theo, this 86-year-old Portuguese man.
Which is already a great hook.
Definitely. He mysteriously arrives in the small town of Golden, Georgia. And almost immediately, he visits the Chalice, that's the local coffee shop, and spots these 92 pencil portraits drawn by a local artist.
Asher Glisson.
Right, Asher. And Theo just buys all of them, every single one.
But the wild part is, he doesn't keep them. He doesn't, hang them in a gallery or anything.
No, not at all.
It's almost like he's a reverse private investigator. Instead of tracking people down to catch them in a lie, he tracks down every single subject in those portraits just to hand-deliver the art to them.
Over at the local Fetter Fountain, yeah.
Exactly, just to uncover their dignity and simply hear their stories.
And the analyses really highlight how this introduces the core theme of attentiveness. I mean, Theo completely refuses to use modern technology.
Oh, no smartphones for him.
Right. He insists on handwritten letters and face-to-face presence. And by doing that, he creates this really rare space where people actually feel seen.
And the people he's seeing, they're carrying some incredibly heavy burdens.
They really are.
You've got Ellen, who is an unhoused woman grieving her lost child. And then Kendrick, the custodian, who's desperately fighting for his injured daughter, Lamisha.
Yeah, the town is dealing with a lot.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for just a second here.
Sure, go for it.
On paper, if you compile an unhoused, grieving mother, an injured kid, and then, we learn Theo's own backstory.
Right, losing his wife and his 10-year-old daughter, Tita.
Exactly, in that awful 1987 car crash. Doesn't focusing on all this trauma make the story just incredibly depressing to read?
It really skirts the edge of it, but that's where Levi introduces Theo's concept of good sadness.
Good sadness.
Yeah. The study guides point out that Theo doesn't view grief as just this endless, crushing pain. He sees it as a reminder of what we've loved.
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it.
So instead of wallowing in it, he sort of alchemizes that tragedy into what he calls creative generosity.
Right, because he uses his hidden wealth to quietly pay Kendrick's medical bills and just genuinely change these neighbors' lives.
Exactly. But that very generosity and his physical closeness to the town's vulnerable residents, it puts him in the crosshairs of the town's darker elements.
Which leads right to the climax of the book.
Yeah, that tragic night on the balcony.
It's so intense. He's trying to stop an attack on his friends.
Ellen and Simone is the cellist, right?
Yes, the cellist. And in the struggle, Theo tragically falls to his death.
It's just a massive shock. It cracks everything wide open for the town.
It really does, because after he dies, the town suddenly learns that this sweet, tech-averse old man was actually Zila.
The world-renowned, fiercely reclusive artist.
Yeah. But the true gut punch is the second reveal.
Oh my gosh.
The town finds out Theo was actually Asher Glisson's biological father.
From a youthful romance back in Spain, right?
Exactly. He came to Golden simply to observe the son he had promised never to contact.
Which just completely changes everything about the beginning of the book.
Doesn't it? It reframes his whole obsession with those 92 portraits. He wasn't just observing the townspeople. He was studying his son's perception of the world.
Right. By returning those portraits, he was validating Asher's talent and quietly participating in his life without ever breaking his vow.
It turns this quirky, eccentric gesture into a deeply layered act of paternal love.
It's beautiful, and honestly, it connects right back to our daily lives. The study guides note how Theo's story is this profound reminder for all of us to slow down.
Put the screen down, right?
Yes, to disconnect and practice that quiet art of recognizing the humanity in the neighbors you pass every single day.
So think back to that lost and found box of human dignity we talked about. If a master artist sketched your portrait today, what hidden strength or what piece of good sadness would a stranger like Theo see hiding in your eyes?